Dear Carl Anthony Towns, I have a question for you, and it goes like this. How can your team lead the Western Conference and you drop 62 points and you still lose? Michael Jordan in his early days, anyone? More comments later. Let's go. On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have left California.
This Brownsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised that the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Oh, yeah. We got, I forgot to push the button. Okay, there's the button I need to push. Everybody's here. Good morning. Welcome to the Taco Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. Man, we got a lot to do in a short time to get there. 4 minutes after the hour, everybody is here. I had a lot of stuff planned visually, but I kind of fell asleep. But I will debut a bit of a new look. I'll debut that tomorrow. As for today, here's the Whip Around presented by Fanatics. Dear Sean Desai, Eagles defensive coordinator, you fired. Will Nick Siriani be next? Riverboat Ron is to interview for the Eagles defensive coordinator job. The question is, will the Eagles grant him a chance to see what he can do with that defense? It can be dominant, just need the right person leading it. Ice Trae is out of commission. Trae Young has suffered a concussion. And is out indefinitely. Trae, nothing but the best for you, my friend. A concussion is nothing to play with. I've had one. I know many friends who are in and out of sports who have had one. It is nothing to play with. Take as much time as you need. And to the Hawks training staff, do what's absolutely right for Trae, because, as I said, a concussion is nothing to play with. And on top of that, he's your best player. So you want to make sure that he's right, especially when it comes to a stretch run. All hail Tara VanDerveer. The longtime Stanford women's basketball coach has set the record for most wins in NCAA history, passing the legendary Mike Krzyzewski. The way to beat a legend is to become one. She became one a long time ago, and now this just adds to her legend. Congratulations, Coach VanDerveer. And one day, I hope to call one of your games and get an interview with you. A legend indeed. The Mavs gamble on the Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving pairing is paying off. ... For now. I still say, and I know many people who agree with me, that's a soap opera waiting to happen. This next one hurt. Cubs Hall of Famer Ryne Sandberg, who played 15 seasons for the Cubs, that he has been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer and has begun treatment. Mr. Sandberg said, quote, to my Chicago Cubs, National Basketball Hall of Fame, extended baseball family, the city of Chicago, and all my loyal fans, I want to share some personal news. Last week, I learned that I have been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer. I have begun treatment and surrounded by my loving wife, Margaret, our incredibly supportive family, the best medical care team, and our dear friends. We will continue to be positive, strong, and fight to beat this. Please keep us in your thoughts and prayers during this difficult time for me and my family, close quote. I'm not even going to read the numbers. Hold on a second. Y'all may hear an echo. Everything is good. Stand by. Okay, that's better. All right, had to make a switch. I'm not even going to read the numbers that Ryne Sandberg put up over his legendary 15-year career. He was durable. He played second base like no one else played second base as long as I have been watching baseball. If you needed someone to do something big for you in your lineup, Ryne Sandberg was the man. Okay? He was a manager for the Philadelphia Phillies for a while, but I will always remember number 23 at second base. There's something about the number 23 in Chicago. Produced some great ones. I don't even have to tell you who the Bulls' great number 23 was. With Ryne Sandberg, man, the 10-time All-Star during his 15 years for the Cubs from 82 to 97. He had 282 home runs, 344 stolen bases. And I said I wasn't going to read the numbers, but they're necessary here. He served as manager of the Phillies from 13 to 15, going 119 and 159. Mr. Sandberg, beat cancer up. Please. We don't need to lose another person to cancer. We don't. And I'm putting a call out right now. I'd love to do an interview with you because it's one of the things I want to add to this, the Snowman Stadium Tour, supported by going to GoFundMe.com/F/Snowman Stadium Tour. And the reason I'm mentioning this with Sandberg's fight with metastatic prostate cancer is what took my dad's life. And I know guys that are going through it right now. I know guys who are going through it right now. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this out there and just say, look, just beat cancer. Beat it up, get back home to your family, and I know it's easier said than done. Hey, been there. This one hurt. This one hurts, but I'm counting on them to beat it. And y'all should keep him in your prayers also. And this is one of the reasons why you should support the Snowman Stadium Tour, because I want to talk to people that are living with cancer. Matter of fact, that just may become a podcast of my own. One of the many ideas that has been playing around in my head for a long time. Hall of Famer, Mr. Sandberg, we're with you in the fight. And we're praying that you beat this, beat it to a pulp, stomp a mud hole in its ass, and walk it dry. We want to see more of you. That's a Whip Around presented by Fanatics. There are some college basketball fans on and off social media that are absolutely stupid. One of them nearly knocked down Caitlin Clark in what Caitlin Clark called a scary situation, and it should be. And as I just learned from my buddy RC, some of the fan base on Twitter tried to clown Hannah Stuelke for missing one of the free throws that could have won the game versus Ohio State. Stuelke's a sophomore. Leave her alone. I'll touch both of those points when y'all get back.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the 4 Horsemen of Peckham's. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. Brian Snow here, Snowman in the Morning, brought to you in part by Invader Coffee. For the coffee lover who wants quality coffee with no BS and no filler, Invader Coffee is for you. An ultra-premium, veteran-owned coffee company proudly deliver the best coffee your hard-earned money can buy. 100% fair trade farms, 100% air-roasted coffee with a 100% money-back guarantee. Log on to invadercoffee.com, place your order, use the code Snowman for 15% off of your order. Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. Okay, speaking of fearless, Caitlin Clark is every bit of fearless, but it frightened the daylights out of her when she collided with a court-storming Ohio State fan. With that in mind, I want to deliver a reality check, but not, I want to deliver 2 reality checks for the price of 1. First, to the fan. Watch where you're going, will you please? Do you know who you nearly ran over? The reigning player of the year, a teammate, a great player, and a great person. I understand your team took down the number 2 team in the nation in a hell of a game. But watch where you're going. Do you know how much trouble you would have been in had Caitlin Clark suffered an injury because of you colliding with her and bowling her over? Do you know how much trouble would have come your way? Thank God Caitlin Clark is okay. But she said that it was scary. Clark said, quote, I could see they were storming the court, which was totally fine. Good for their students. Great win for them, Clark said. She was hammered and blindsided by the court stormer while trying to swiftly get off the floor. Lisa Bluter said, quote, that should not happen. Our players should be safe. They should be able to walk off the floor. That's very disappointing. Ohio State, great team, great environment, but obviously very disappointed with the post game with our players getting injured trying to walk out of the gym. That's wrong. Close quote. Coach Bluter, you're absolutely right. It's wrong, and that's on the security at Value City Arena. There should be a way, in case of an upset like this, there should be a way where you can like rope off a section for the students to storm until the players get off the floor. Then you can open it back up. Do you know the potential? Do you know the hazards that are there for court storming? I know it's a tradition. I've been a part of it. I've seen it, and I've been in one. I get it. Hell, the court storming I was in was at a high school game at Brother Rice in 2005. Look, I get it. I understand it. But the players and the coaches need to be safe. The players and the coaches involved need to absolutely be safe. Shame on the Ohio State security for not having something in place, knowing you have the number 2 team in the nation there in your house, knowing you have the reigning player of the year, which will be the reigning 2-time player of the year, I believe, in your house. And you had no security measures to be ready for a situation like that. You have to be ready. What if it was South Carolina? What if it was the number 1 team in the nation? And on top of that, you had a record-setting crowd of 18,260 at Value City Arena. You mean to tell me there wasn't a measure in place to keep the players safe just in case of an upset? See, I look at it like this. The folks at Value City Arena, and I know they're working hard. I know that. There should have been extra. All I'm going to say is there should have been extra measures in place should Ohio State have knocked off the number 2 team in the country. The number 2 team in the country went down at the hands of the Ohio State University. Okay? You got to be prepared for that. That's my message. You have to be prepared for situations like that. You absolutely have to be prepared. I've done security before at major arenas like the United Center. And there is a fail-safe and a contingency plan for every situation. And from the way it looked, and I've watched the video with fans storming the court, there was not a fail-safe or an extra protective measure for the players to walk off the floor. There should have been a couple of extra measures in place for the players to walk off the floor, shake hands, be safe, and then exit the floor and get to their locker rooms. Then you let the fans have their fun. You want to storm the floor at the buzzer? Absolutely. But there should have been some extra measures in place to prevent non-basketball injuries. That would have been disastrous. You understand? That would have been absolutely disastrous. Not just for Iowa, but for the fan involved. And for the fan involved who bowled over Caitlin Clark in their excitement to storm the court. Be careful. Please be careful. And I say this to every student and fan who's storming the floor after seeing their team pull off a big win. Be cognizant and be mindful of where you are going. As my dad used to tell me all the time, sometimes I didn't listen, but I listen a lot more today when I hear his voice in my head. Watch what you're doing. Please watch what you are doing. Wait till you get to the floor, and thank you, RC, for this note. Wait till you get to the floor. You can't run blindly like that. You can't run blindly like that. Excitement, yes, but to a point, control it, man. You know who you knocked down? For that alone, you should be banned and not allowed to come back to games. Will there be a decision rendered on this? Because that can actually be a court case against the fan who had her phone out running blindly and bowled over the best player in the nation. You know how many policemen and court cases would have been filed had that happened to Michael Jordan back in the day? You know how much paperwork would be filed for that? That person should not be able to come back. Watch what y'all are doing. Please. Please watch what y'all are doing. Because I hate to read stories like this where someone gets knocked down, knocked over, bowled over in excitement. It should be an exciting time, but it also should be a safe time for the players, especially Caitlin Clark. Now, I already know what some of the narratives are going to be when people hear this rant from the best sports show in the nation. You're showing bias toward Caitlin Clark. No, I'm showing bias toward lack of safety. I'm definitely showing bias toward lack of safety. And again, this is the fault of Value City Arena not having extra measures in place just in case the women's basketball team from The Ohio State University scored an upset, which they did in overtime, 100-92. Fans storming the court? Great. But watch what you're doing. Keep the phones away and allow the players to walk off the court, man, because that's what Caitlin Clark was doing. And sometimes you see the players, not shake hands with each other. They're on a court storming situation. They're getting out of the way. That's all. They're getting out of the way. Let me say it correctly. They're getting the hell out of the way. That's what Caitlin Clark was doing. She said she saw him coming. They were getting the hell out of the way. And to Coach Lisa Bluter's point, shame on you, Value City Arena, for not keeping the players' safety in mind. What would have happened? What would be out now in terms of the news if Caitlin Clark suffered an injury because of a fan running blindly and wildly and not knowing where the fan was going, not knowing where she was going? This is why I say a lesson once again that my father, William Otis Snow Jr., would say to me a lot. At the time I wouldn't listen, but now I am. Watch what you're doing. More to the point, watch where you're going. You know how dangerous a court storming could be? That's dangerous. I'm glad there were no injuries. I'm glad nothing major happened to Caitlin Clark. But you know how mad fans would have been if they couldn't see Caitlin Clark play? The Clark effect is in effect. Because of Caitlin Clark, they sold out Value City Arena. Let me repeat the number. 18,260. 18,000. Can you imagine all of them storming the court and running over a few more players? God forbid there would be bloodshed. God forbid there would be more injuries that are non-basketball related. I'm glad none happened in this case. I'm so glad none happened in this case. Security at all arenas across the country. I hope this is a message and I hope this is a lesson. Especially when you have number 1 South Carolina taking on number 9 LSU from the Maravich Assembly Center in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Thursday night. When you have number 11 Texas taking on Oklahoma in women's basketball in the Red River rivalry. And you got the same tonight at the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman, Oklahoma. When 11th ranked Oklahoma hosts unranked Texas. It's the Red River rivalry. And I'm making that comparison to say this. To all the basketball arenas, let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson. If you see a court storming getting ready to happen, get down there, make sure the players are safe, block off an area for the players to walk off the floor and get back to their locker room. Shame on you, Value City Arena. Clean it up. I got another one, but we're going to take a trip to the Fanatics feedback zone. I've been arguing on social media with random people because they insist it was a complete flop. I tell you, Beast Snow, people always try to pick apart greatness in any way they can. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Victor Locke from Chicago. At some point, you got to act like you've been there before. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Security guard came running up late, just missing the fan. I understand that, but you can't be late in that situation. You got to be aware of the time that's left. You have to be aware. You got to be totally aware, acutely aware. Hold on a minute. How'd this get tangled in my ear? There we go. You got to be very aware of everything that's going on. And this is from a guy, like I said, that has done security at big arenas, i.e. the United Center. Been there, done that. They play each other at Carver Hawkeye Arena on March 3rd. You know I'm getting that one. You know I'm doing that one. Security guard or cop came running up late, just missing the fan. No, unacceptable. Unacceptable. You had to, anticipating the fact when Ohio State went up by 6 and then later went up by 8, at that time, your security should have been lining the floor or getting ready to line the floor because a court storming was coming. All right? You got to guard against the nuts and the creeps. Good thing it wasn't someone with ill intent coming out there. True. Very true, Ryne. Very true. And you and I are doing that game in Iowa City on March 3rd. Just so you know. Now, speaking of the Lady Hawkeyes, I have a second reality check. And this is for some of the fans who cursed a sophomore who I love seeing play. The sophomore in question is Hannah Stuelke. She wears number 45. She missed a free throw that could have won the game in regulation. People were arguing back and forth on Twitter, downing her, and she deactivated her Twitter, her social media. Good move. Because now the craziness in terms of fandom that I see in professional sports, in men's college basketball, is filtering their way into women's college basketball, and I bleeping hate it. I bleeping hate it. The advent of social media made a few things better, but in terms of sports, it's made it worse. It's made it absolutely worse. How can you get mad at a sophomore trying to win the game, couldn't, for making a mistake? Mistakes happen. She's a sophomore. She's going to grow. She's going to learn from this. And plus, this is this year. This is the regular season. This is the regular season. Y'all are acting this nuts over a regular season game with 2 top 20 teams. You didn't fall that far. You fell down to number 5. Cheer on your team. Tell Ohio State, good game. We'll see you in Iowa City on March 3rd. That's all. But no, these fans want to go completely ballistic. They can say what they want virtually. I bet you they don't have the balls to say it to their face. I'm willing to bet you, Victor, you and I have been there. I bet you they don't have the balls to say it to their face. They do not have the balls to say it to their face. And in terms of society, says Victor, social media has made a lot of things worse. You got that right. Take it from someone who was stalked for 10 years because of a mistake. One tweet was like, quote, "We wouldn't have a problem if someone makes both free throws," close quote. Come on. Come on. To that crazy fan, deactivate your Twitter. So you're not allowed to punch keys like that and form that kind of sentence and form that kind of thought. Someone with a coherent thought actually said that. Really? What is wrong with these people? Because there's a big possibility, going back to the Caitlin Clark situation, someone could get hit in the mouth. Uh-huh. These fans don't have the balls to say it to the players' faces. And if they do say it to the players' faces, they'll laugh at them and walk off. Why? Because they're on the court, busting their asses, doing what they need to do, and you're not. Me, I sit at the table or in the booth and call these games. So I'm right there with them. We're following Iowa all the way to the finish, all the way to Cleveland, Ohio in April. That is our featured team on the Snowman Multimedia channel. Women's basketball is going to be our featured sport. But come on. Leave the players alone and let them grow up. Ryne, the Aces and Hawkeyes guy. These are college kids. Can you imagine if Michigan's Chris Webber called the timeout that they did not have in the social media era? Good Lord. He wouldn't have had an NBA career. And Victor, I got your point about why they don't say it to the players' faces, as they're afraid they'll get socked in the mouth. Hold on a minute. Don't tell me this one's acting up too. Doggone it. There we go. Much better. Much better. Just stop it, y'all, okay? Just stop it. Leave Hannah Stolke alone. Leave the players alone. Let them make the mistakes. Let them grow up. You wouldn't be saying this if we let you grow up, right? Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. So shut up, be a fan, and be respectful. Dusty Baker goes back home to San Francisco to do what? I'll explain in 2 minutes.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids from the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock. Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids from the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live. every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready? Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids from the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
There we go. I had to get some breakfast. Welcome back. 11:40 is your time. 40 minutes after the hour, 20 before the new hour. I sucked my teeth in that breakfast sandwich and I didn't stop. That's why I kept rolling the commercial. So I apologize for that. I'm going to be sitting in on David 3000's channel for their daily afternoon show. Catch me at 4 o'clock. Dusty Baker is back home in San Francisco. A longtime manager will return as a special advisor to baseball operations and work on both the baseball and business sides. Dusty Baker, the World Series champion, said, quote, "I've enjoyed my stops at various places, but I'm happy to be back home. I look forward to providing guidance to the organization and helping the Giants get back to the top in a very tough division. This is the year." The 74-year-old retired from the Houston Astros after last year. He is 26 as a major league manager. He said then he still had more to offer a team and hoped to take an advisory role. He managed the Giants, Baker did, from 93 to 2002. Boy, that sandwich. Before coming back to work as an advisor to CEO Larry Baer during a break from his managing in 2018 and 2019. Baer said, quote, "We are so welcome Dusty back into the Giants organization. Dusty's experience, knowledge, and the success he had in his 50 years of baseball will be an invaluable piece to the success and continued development of our baseball operations efforts, both on and off the field." Close quote. He is still beloved in the Bay Area, and if there's anyone nicer or better to serve as an advisor to Dusty Baker, I'd love to meet him. I would love to meet him. So let me ask this question. Does it finally put the Giants over the top because they won the division 3 years ago against over the Dodgers by 1 game? And then the Dodgers just reassumed their role as kings of the division. Didn't do anything in the playoffs, but kings of the division. Does this help the Giants get over the hump? What do the Giants need? Because I'm going to be covering the Giants this year along with the White Sox. What do the Giants need to get back to the top of the division and to get back to where they were 10 years ago, which was their third and at the time final World Series championship? What do they have to do? How big of a piece is Dusty Baker to this organization? That's where he started managing. Wait a minute. Before Ryan shows up, a black man talking baseball? I most certainly am. It feels like forever since 2005 when the Sox won it all. Man, please. You don't have to tell me twice. As I said, I'm just happy I got a chance to celebrate that one with my pop before I lost him to prostate cancer. There's always a segment where I jump all over the place, but I'm happy for Dusty Baker being back with an organization and in an area where he is still very much beloved. I love it. I absolutely love it. Speaking of 2005, Ryne, Victor, remember this?
Ball past Jenks up the middle of the infield. Uribe has it. He throws. Out! A White Sox winner and a world championship. The White Sox have won the World Series, and they're mobbing each other on the field.
John Rooney provided the voice. Fox provided the pictures. And, man, that 2005 year. I know I'm talking baseball, led with the San Francisco Giants. I've been a White Sox fan all my life. Third generation. My grandpa, my pops, and me. I had a few favorite players growing up. Greg Lazinski, Ron Kittle. But if I had to pick my favorite all-time White Sox player, if I had to pick one as a favorite among favorites, as long as I've been a Southsider, it's this man.
Breaking ball hit deep into center field. Griffey goes back, looks up. You can put it on the board. A grand slam for Big Frank Thomas. Yeah.
Yep, the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas. Although, what's one of my favorite moments, as well as one of my favorite players. If I had to pick another one, let me see. If I had to pick another one, let's go back to July 31st, 1991. This happened.
Now on 2-0. Ventura swings, and it's a high fly ball. Deep right field. Way back. Grand slam. Ventura. That's a White Sox winner. Unbelievable.
This is pretty exciting.
That. John Rooney again provided the call. Here it is.
Now on 2-0. Ventura swings, and it's a high fly ball. Deep right field. Way back. Grand slam. Ventura. That's a White Sox winner. Unbelievable.
I had that radio clip for a while, and now I have it back. Yeah, I know. With Dusty Baker going back home to San Francisco, I know I'm doing this. I'm taking a stroll. Back down memory lane. I remember Dusty Baker when he was a player with the Los Angeles Dodgers and Tommy Lasorda. And now he's back home with the San Francisco Giants. Can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that at all. You simply can't. Back to 2005. Hey, Rye. Hey, Victor. Remember this?
Look to Mexico. The celebration and how proud. Ground ball to first. The White Sox have won the pennant.
Where were you on October 16, 2005 when that happened? I was sitting in my bedroom yelling my brains out. My dad just came in and smiled. He came in and smiled and he said, 4 more to go. Man, I got one for I have one for Victor. Let me find it. Let me set the table for you. I was working at Ho Chunk Sports Complex in suburban Chicago, doing a full day of baseball. Full day. I was surrounded by Cub fans. Surrounded. I didn't know what to do. It was July 1st, 2006. The Cubs were leading the White Sox 6-5. And AJ Pierzynski was up. There were a whole bunch of kids in the concession stand, inside of the bar/concession stand to get out of the heat because it was hot that day. I had Victor in my ear on the phone. I had Victor on the phone doing a mock broadcast for me. I'm nervous because I had been selling wolf tickets the entire game. Every time the Sox came back, I was yelling my brains out. And some of the fans were giving me mess right back saying, you need to talk more about the Cubs. No, I don't. Anyway, 6-5, top of the 9th inning. Ryan Dempster was pitching. AJ Pierzynski was batting. And the White Sox were trailing down to their final out. And then this happened.
Now Pierzynski with 2 outs, top of the 9th. Well hit, right field. White Sox take the lead. AJ Pierzynski says, take that, Cubs fans.
Oh, boy. Kenny Albert on the call for Fox, who provided the video. Victor was in my ear going ballistic. All right. He was yelling his brains out. And a bunch of kids came flying out of the bar and they said, AJ just hit a home run. AJ just hit a home run. And they told me it was a 3-run bomb. So I did the math and I said, update from Wrigley, AJ Pierzynski, and I paused. waiting for all the fans to like lean in and listen. And then I said, has just hit a 3-run home run. White Sox fans to my right and behind me were going nuts. They were going nuts. And then I announced the score. I said, in the 9th inning, White Sox 8, Cubs 6. And on my left, there were a bunch of Cub fans sitting in the stands, and they went, no! I will never forget that. I will never forget that. All right. That takes care of this trip. So JJ wants to pop in my chat, and I love JJ. Jason Joseph, play-by-play with JJ. If you want great Sixers coverage, go to him. Joel Embiid is a monster. Me and JJ are going to have a fight because my next 3 words are no, he's not. Until he figures it all out, and I've told him this before. Until he figures out the entire package, I ain't impressed. You could drop 80 points. I'm not impressed. Figure out the entire package, and then maybe you'll impress a Snowman. Now, I know that's going to bristle JJ. I did it with the purpose. I did it to make him laugh and have a little fun with it. Seattle Supersonics, huh? Hold on a minute, Rye, because I have something for you. Where are you at? I knew he'd get that. Ravioli cannoli. It's a goal for Tyler Toffoli. I love it. Joel will never pass Kobe. Joel ain't that good. Like I said, I'm doing it to rile him up. Where is it? Dadgummit. I don't have it. Oh, man. Stop. There was something I wanted to show Rye featuring the Seattle Supersonics, and I can't find the darn thing. Let me look at another. Okay. Darn it. I'll have to find it. You can try all you want. Is it working? Are you laughing? Are you laughing at me? Are you laughing at me, JJ? That's what I want to know. Okay. I'm going to have to do this again. Because there's something I want to find, and I'm going to find it, dagnabbit. I'm going to find it. Since we're going back down memory lane again, and this started with Dusty Baker going back home to San Francisco to become a special advisor to him. And congratulations to Dusty Baker. Well deserved. Very much well deserved. Where is it? Dagnabbit? No, it's not here. Darn. Where is it? Okay, I'm going to have to improvise here. I'm going to have to improvise. And since we're going back down memory lane, I may as well do this. right, I had to do that one. Let's go to the Fanatics feedback zone. JJ says you can try all you want. Rye counters, what a wild Sean Kemp slam dunk. To answer your question that he asked later on in the chat, it was Alton Lister. That was 1992, I believe. Someone messaged me today and said this is what Embiid should be doing every night. I told you that last spring, JJ. I told you that last spring. He is laughing. That's good. Rob Carlton in the house says good morning. Good morning to you, Rob. Rob, where are you listening or watching from so we can shout you out properly? I got a smile on my face. Do you have a voice? That's all I want to know. Do you have a voice after what you saw last night? I got to see it up and close at the game last night. So cool. Whose face did Sean Kemp point in the face in? Alton Lister. Then pointing in someone's face. Alton Lister. Victor from Chicago. Here goes Nick Wrong crying again. You know what? I'm gonna really have him crying. Where is the video? Because Rye said Seattle Supersonics. Okay. I think I have something that will make him happy. I better have it, doggone it. I better have it. Because I have Seattle's team introduction here. I do. Here it is. Rye, as we're strolling back down memory lane, this is for you.
Gentlemen, get on your feet for the 1996 Pacific Division champions, your Seattle Supersonics. And today's starting lineup for your Supersonics, a 6'4" guard from Oregon State, number 20, Gary Payton. A 6'3" guard from Grambling University, number 33, Hersey Hawkins. 6'11" center from New Orleans, number 50, Irvin Johnson. 6'10" forward from the University of Washington, number 11, Dennis. And a 6'10" forward from Trinity Junior College, number 40, Sean. And the head coach of your Seattle Supersonics, George Karl.
There, that's what I was looking for. All right, that'll conclude this. All right, I got to get current. We got to take a break. It's halftime. Second half will begin with Josh Allen believing in what we've got going on. Josh Allen, you shouldn't. Second half of Snowman in the Morning begins after this timeout.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast, every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
everything Boston. I love you morons. You kids from the block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pistol 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Peckham's. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
It's a Red River rivalry kind of week inside of the Snowman Broadcast Center. Tonight, we started with this. Texas and number 11 Oklahoma at 6:45 Eastern time on the YouTube channel. And then we got women's hoops, same two teams, different place. We go to the Moody Center in Austin, Texas, as Oklahoma battles number 11 Texas in women's hoops. That'll start at 6:45. All of our fan chats will start 15 minutes prior to game time. And the men's game tonight, courtesy of a suggestion from Ryne, the Aces guy. Second half of Snowman in the Morning begins after this.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So tell they hear you. You can do it if you try.
He was only 58 years old when he passed away. That outcome could have been different.
Colorado happens to be one of the worst states for radon levels.
It's in our ground, and it seeps up.
The more you breathe radon, the more chance you have of DNA being hit and the cell mutated. The EPA estimates 22,000 lung cancer deaths a year caused by radon.
We all make choices. When it comes to alcohol, kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, have a seat for a second. Remind me about that party again?
Alex is just...
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. They want guidance and honest answers to their questions. And it makes a difference when the message is consistent and part of everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Oh man, I've been typing like crazy during the break. 7 after the hour, second half of Snowman in the morning has begun. And I have I was responding to somebody. Sorry, multitasking, real-time research, all that good stuff. Because what I am doing is planning a full season of the Brian Snow Show. And I backed up the release because I want to get my recording dates in order and my release dates in order and have everything streamlined for release at the right time so that when y'all see it, you can earmark it and you can, tell your friends. And I'm hoping you tell your friends about this. Want to get your business out there? Drop an email to Snowman in the morning drop an email to an email to snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com. That's snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com. Or you can call 317-762-8567. That's 317-762-8567. Oh boy, am I off today. Also, Snowman in the Morning is brought to you part by Recruiting Giants, whose mission is to connect exceptional talent with exceptional companies. Recruiting Giants, where talent meets opportunity. Oh boy, let me do some more cleanup here. As mentioned, we got this tonight. Texas at number 11 Oklahoma. That's at 6:45 inside the Snowman Broadcast Center. 6:45 is our stream time. Then you got this. 6:45 again is our stream time. It's the Red River Rivalry, the women's version. Oklahoma at number 11 Texas. Then we got this, South Carolina and LSU, 1 versus 9, Thursday, 7:45 is your start time. I'm working on the banners as we speak. Then Conference Championship Sunday begins at 2 p.m. I'll have both games, the Ravens and the Chiefs. Then we'll take a break, and then we'll have the Lions and the 49ers. And I'm going to tell everybody right now, since I'm emotionally invested because my team that I have loved since 1981 is in the conference championship. If they win Sunday, I will weep in happiness. If they win the Super Bowl, I'll weep even more. Because I nearly cried this past Sunday when it looked like the Niners were just going to get blown out the joint. But I will say this, thanks to 2Trip211 for stopping by. Thank you. And I repeat, thank you. Do me a favor, folks. If you like what you see and what you hear, why don't you consider making a donation via Cash App? The tag you need is $ tallman Dr. K50. We're in a bit of a crisis right now with my health slowly getting better. And I do mean that slowly, but we could use your help. And the thing we're trying to get help with this week is getting around, getting to and from. So if you can spare some gas fundage so I can help my family, the Cash App you need is right there. Tallman Dr. K50. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys. Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills quarterback, somewhat extraordinaire. Excuse me. That's how much this story is making me choke. I'm sorry. expressed confidence in what's ahead for the Buffalo Bills after the team ended the season on a familiar note. Very familiar. Very familiar. Falling short of an AFC title game and a Super Bowl appearance again. They battled back from 6-6 to win the AFC East. They won 6 in a row, but the season came to a screeching halt against Patrick Mahomes and the defending world champion Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional round. Allen said, but the 27-year-old Allen says he isn't worried about the championship window closing. He says, quote, I believe in what we've got going on here and the people that are in charge. I believe in myself, and that'll never change. Close quote. Let me read part of that again. I believe in what we got going on here and the people that are in charge. Close quote. Allen also said, quote, all signs are pointing up with this team. I know it feels bleak, and there's probably going to be a lot of change. That's nothing I know nor I can focus on, to be honest. I just got to continue to keep working hard and bringing the guys that are here along and keep trying to mesh everybody together. It takes an entire organization, some good long looks in the mirror, and some conversations with people and inside that are in and outside the building, just asking, what can I do more? What can I be better at? And learning and growing from that. And that's exactly what I plan on doing. Close quote. Okay. Now that we got all that out of the way, Josh Allen, you fool! Now, many are going to be saying, why are you saying that? Let me explain. The Buffalo Bills window for a championship is closed and locked. Let me say that again. The championship window for these Buffalo Bills is closed and locked and will never be open again. They have had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. Let me find something here. Little real-time research. And they blew it. I don't know how much plainer I can put it. I mean, you had Cincinnati in your house and you allowed them to run wild for 173 yards. You had chance after chance after chance to put away the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. That went sideways. You know, what more do you expect from these Buffalo Bills? You know, the carries that Josh Allen had on Sunday, they should have gone to James Cook. Now, I know Josh Allen is a dynamic athlete and he's a hell of a quarterback. I will never take that away from him, ever. But something has got to give, and I think it already has. I'm thinking it's already has. I'm thinking it's done. I hate to say this about the Buffalo Bills, and I would love to be wrong. You understand? I would love to be wrong. But I think it's done. When you've had chance after chance after chance to make a statement with a promising quarterback, a promising offense, you know, Buffalo, this is all I can say to you.
You blew it. Capiche?
It's done. You know, Christian Mason. Yes, Josh Allen, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you forever and ever and ever. Amen. Josh Allen, once again.
You blew it. Capiche?
Matter of fact, the ending of that, the field goal that they missed wide right. Ugly. And I got Bills Mafia chirping at me already saying, man, you can't close the door on us. Let me ask a favor.
We gotta pause that.
And I know you'd love to do this after Sunday's game.
Delete! 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 Delete!
You'd love to delete that game and try again and start over, but you can't. Dear Bills Mafia and the Buffalo Bills organization.
You blew it. Capiche?
You blew it. You blew it. End of story. And that started when you got blown to smithereens in 2020 by the Indianapolis Colts in your house. This makes the third game in the past. This makes the third playoff game in the past 4 years where you got beat in your house. Remember, Rich Stadium was a house of horrors for a lot of people, but that was under the leadership of Mark Levy and Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas and those guys. What has Josh Allen done in the postseason to establish some kind of home field dominance at Rich Stadium? I will answer that question for you. Nothing. They've done nothing. You get run over by Cincinnati. You got victory snatched from you by Patrick Mahomes and the world champion Chiefs. I'm sorry. I've seen championship teams rise and fall, come and go. Okay? I've seen it. I've seen the rise and fall of dynasties. 49ers, Warriors, Spurs, Yankees. Seen the rise and fall of dynasties, and sometimes they re-rise. 49ers, hopefully. But with this, I'm not saying they're mediocre. I will never say that. That would just be wrong of me to say that. But let's be real. Need to do that. Sorry. I'm not ending the show, but let me get back to my point here. Buffalo Bills, listen carefully.
You blew it. Capiche?
You blew it. You're done. Finito in the sun. Unless you change your philosophy, unless you change how you approach your offense, and unless you stay healthy, and there's always a major injury that cost the Buffalo Bills the same way that there was a major injury that cost the San Francisco 49ers in the last few years. And people say I don't talk about my team in a real sense. Take that. I'm sorry. I just don't believe in the Buffalo Bills anymore. I don't. One more time.
You blew it. Capiche?
You blew it. You're done. I'd love to be wrong. And if I am wrong, to me, everybody can say, "You fool!" And I'll gladly take it. Gladly. Hell, I know Bills Mafia right now is saying to me,
Let's get ready to rumble!
and they're also saying, To which I have 3 words. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, and I'll sit in front of this microphone without y'all having to say,
stop it. Get some help.
Prove me wrong. But the Buffalo Bills, as currently constructed, are done. Finished. Finito in the sun. Period. They're done. Adios, goodbye, peace, and out. That's Snowman's take. What is yours? It took me a while to find that clip. The Broke Genius in the house. I'm with it. All eyes on NCAA women's basketball. Thank you very much. Don't want to pay running backs for winning championships. Says 2Trip211. Ain't that the truth? The Caitlin Angel era is still here, and I hope it's here for the year beyond this. To the Broke Genius. If y'all like what you see and what you hear, then do me a huge favor, and please help the Snowman and his family out with a Cash App donation. Need a few of them today, because I got to help my wife out of a situation, and I am disabled right now. The tag you need is down below. $ Tallman Dr. K 50. All right, let's see if we can get a $50 to $75 goal reached today. Let's see if we can do that. I was always told start with something modest, because this is my job now. This is what I push. This is what I do. And this is what I'm going to continue to do. All right. A pause for a break. And when we come back, Jim Harbaugh is expected to meet with the Chargers again. Okay. That's all I'll say for right now. Back in a minute.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the 4 Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Down the stretch we come on this Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. This portion is presented by SeatGeek. Use the code Snowman Multimedia for $20 off of your first order. That's only through the power of SeatGeek, where the fans can fan. Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh is expected to meet with the Chargers this week for a second interview to be the team's next head coach. sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Harbaugh and the Chargers have been linked since owner Dean Spanos fired former coach Brandon Staley and general manager Tom Telesco on December the 15th. Harbaugh, who played quarterback for 14 years in the NFL, spent his final 2 seasons, 1999 and 2000, with the San Diego Chargers. Atlanta Falcons are also scheduling a second interview with Harbaugh. He first interviewed with Atlanta last Tuesday. Sources confirmed to ESPN's Michael Rothstein. Okay. Let the coaching carousel begin. Okay. I gotta get a taller microphone stand some kind of way. Okay, I have a question. Is Jim Harbaugh really going to leave Michigan after winning a national championship? Because he was brought there to win national championships, plural, and he only has one. I think he'd want to stay there and get another one just to prove that he can do it. Don't y'all think so? Instead, he's meeting with the Chargers. He's meeting with the Falcons. I think he's always wanted to get back in the NFL after his disgraceful exit from San Francisco. Hold on a minute, folks. Gotta make sure this is right. And here go my snowman pants. All right. There you go. Much better. He was brought in. How does Mike Valenti say it? Jesus Harbaugh was brought in to win championships. He's won division championships in the Big Ten, sure, but he only has one national title to solidify himself as one of the best coaches in the game. Now, I know he can coach. I know he can recruit. But do you seriously want to give a second go to the NFL after what happened in Frisco? Under your leadership, Harbaugh, somehow the locker room disintegrated. And that started with the loss of Seattle in the NFC Championship game. A championship I think the 49ers were screwed out of, but that's another story for another time. There's just... What do you all think? Should he try the NFL again? Does he have the moxie to deal with grown-ass men again? Is it going to be another 4 years and then the locker room disintegrates? What do you think is going to happen? Seriously, what do y'all think is going to happen? Jim Harbaugh, I say stay put. Scandal or no scandal, he did what Michigan wanted him to do. He brought him a national championship. Fair and square, I might add. I just don't think. Now, again, he can totally prove me wrong. People can totally prove me wrong, and I get that. Hell, I'm not perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I want to be proven wrong on some of the points that I've made. I just go off of what my eyes tell me. All right? All right. Thanks to 2Triv211 for the Cash App. Very much appreciated. Let's see if we can make our goal of $75 before we get out of here this afternoon. I just think that Jim Harbaugh should stay put and put a second national championship team together. What do you guys think? Should we do that? Should we make it happen? Should that happen? Or should he take his chance to the NFL right now? Because there are professional teams that want him and need him badly. Carolina, hello. But he ain't going to Carolina. He doesn't want to be in the middle of that BS. He doesn't. I just don't see it. I don't see if there's any way that Jim Harbaugh can leave Michigan and be successful in the NFL again. But as I said before, prove me wrong. That's what this is all about. Prove me wrong. I'll gladly say I was wrong if he finds immediate success in the NFL. A point that I said early in the season after the Raiders signed Jimmy Garoppolo, in which they may move on from him this offseason. My partner asked me, how do you think Garoppolo would perform in the Raiders offense? I said Garoppolo would be fine as long as Josh McDaniels wasn't calling the plays. I use that to illustrate this. I think Jim Harbaugh would be fine as long as he stays at Michigan. But they're trying to shove him out the door as quick as you can blink. All because of a scandal he had a scandal at the top of the season that cost him 3 games. He had a scandal at the bottom of the season that cost him 3 games, and yet he and the Wolverines were the last team standing. Oh, by the way, there was nothing found on either charge. Sad. Just stay put. Stay put and continue to prove them wrong. Shane Waldron leaving Seattle to be the offensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears. Shane, I feel for you. That and a Cubdom experience after this.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Peckham's. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
She's so beautiful. Take a look. Yeah, I'm bragging about my wife. God, she's beautiful. She is freaking gorgeous, man. Oh, darn it. I'm sorry. 35 after the hour. I just saw a picture of my wife and I got distracted. Now, the Chicago Bears plan to hire Shane Waldron as their next offensive coordinator. Less than 2 weeks after beginning an extensive search that included interviews with 9 candidates. Waldron replaces Luke Getsy, who was fired on January 10th, along with 4 members of the Bears' offensive staff. Waldron comes to Chicago after 3 seasons in Seattle, where he was the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator and play caller. In Chicago, Waldron will either guide Justin Fields into his 4th season or help a rookie such as USC's Caleb Williams, whom the Bears can draft with the 1st overall pick. Oh, dear. Walton's upbringing in the NFL began in 2008 under New England's Bill Belichick, continued in various capacities under Sean McVay in Washington and Los Angeles, and spanned the past 3 years under Pete Carroll, whose tenure with Seattle ended earlier this month after 14 seasons. He will now call plays under Matt Eberflus. Change that. Matt Eberflus, who was retained as the head coach. In terms of an offensive coordinator, Chicago, I have this message for you.
You blew it. Capiche?
You messed up. Because as long as you have Matt Eberflus, you will be taking many more no matter who the offensive coordinator is. Matt Eberflus as your head coach? You. Who actually expects Matt Eberflus to actually do something with the Bears this year? You're bringing on an entirely new staff. Who expects Matt Eberflus to be there after 2 years? I got a question, and only one person can answer it. Did the Bears make the right decision in keeping Matt Eberflus? Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Bishop, do it again. Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. One more time for those of us in the cheap seats. Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Doesn't matter who the OC is. Doesn't matter who the play caller is. Doesn't matter who we bring in. You kept Matt Eberflus. I still want to know what the hell an Eberflus is. And to the people who think, okay, Eberflus is going to have a new offensive coordinator and the offense is just going to instantly get better.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
Just.
Stop the cap.
Just.
Stop the cap.
Just.
Stop the cap.
Once again, just.
Stop the cap.
Stop. Just. Stop. Matter of fact, just Matt Eberflus?
Stop the cap.
With Shane Waldron as your new OC?
Stop the cap.
Matter of fact, Kawhi. Michael.
Stop it. Get some.
And then you have the argument that's going to rage from now until draft night. Do you trade Justin Fields? Do you keep Justin Fields, or do you trade him and draft Caleb Williams? That goes up top. That goes upstairs. Because I hate to say this, they're going to screw it up again. They're going to screw it up. I mean, hell, let's just be all the way real with this. And I'm going to get some help here in a moment. You mortgaged your entire future. Let me say it again. You want to know why I'm laughing? Because this is the Chicago Bears in a freaking nutshell, man. You mortgaged your entire future. You got swindled on a few trades where people thought you, the Chicago Bears organization, swindled them, which is a lie. You mortgaged your entire future. You didn't do as bad as the Rams, but you may as well have. Okay? I laugh because when I saw the trade happen, I couldn't believe it. And people were actually thinking the Bears came out on the better end of this. You mortgaged your entire future for DJ Moore.
Bitch, are you for real?
I can't say it enough. You mortgaged your entire future. And you're depending on a quarterback, no matter who it is, Justin Fields or Caleb Williams, that can be an instant fix. You mortgaged your entire future for DJ Moore. And you're bringing in an offensive coordinator that nobody in Chicago knows about. Who the hell is Shane Waldron? More to the point, Bear fans, do you actually care who Shane Waldron is? At least not now, not until they get the pieces in place to actually field a good offense. You can't do this. Victor Locke joins me from Chicago. How are you, sir?
How you doing?
I will say this until the cows come home and until they fix the problem. And you agree with me because we did the draft that night.
Yes, we did.
They mortgaged their entire future for DJ Moore.
And didn't put a line in front of Justin Fields at all.
Oh, and didn't equip him with a running back either.
Exactly.
They didn't equip him with a running back. The quarterbacks in this class, and I agree with Jay, are going to be better coming out than last year. But does it matter with the Bears who they have as their quarterback? Because first of all, I'll ask the question that you posed. Who the hell is Shane Waldron?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Now, I know what I read that he was under Pete Carroll and helped the Seattle Seahawks, but there are actual players there.
Right.
There are actual people that actually wanted to play football, and there are people there that actually gave a damn.
The people who actually know how to play football. who actually know how to play football
and care about playing football.
Yes.
That's the thing. They care about playing football. I don't know who the hell Shane Waldron is. And for the third year in a row, I don't know who the hell Matt Eberflus is. Their coaching decisions have been rushed.
Apparently, Bears fans know who they are.
How?
I don't know.
I was going to say, I'm asking the wrong question. I'm asking the wrong person the wrong question. They mortgaged everything for DJ Moore, a number 3 receiver at best. And yet he turned out to be the only weapon that Justin Fields had in looking downfield. There was no tight end in the offense. They misused Cole Kmet. There was no running game. And to your point, there was no offensive line. None.
And they still have yet to address that issue.
And they won't. Who are we talking about here? That's all I got to say. Who are we talking about here?
That's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm. Big one. Big one. That's going to be a huge problem. A problem they, can I say it?
Go ahead.
Don't have the balls to solve.
Don't have the brains either.
True. Nor the heart. Because if they did, they'd have solved it already.
They don't have the brains either.
They'd have solved it already.
And the more time they waste, the smaller that window is for someone like a Justin Fields to possibly get better.
Man, what did you and I say on draft night when the debacle happened that they only picked one offensive lineman and he wound up getting injured?
Yep.
Justin Fields needs to leave. And I'm not saying that because I don't like Justin Fields. I love him. Okay? But he needs to be in a better situation. And this ain't it.
It really isn't. Especially look at a situation that they only picked that one lineman and then never really looked at the offensive line again.
Mm-mm.
It was more like they did it just to shut everybody else up.
Yeah.
And they went on to do what they wanted to do.
That was a pity pick. I hate saying it that way, but that was a pity pick. They don't care. Unless they get people in that actually care, that organization will always be mediocre, period. Unless they get some football people in there and fix the doggone thing. Thank you, David Kaplan.
Mm-hmm.
It won't happen. It just won't.
It won't. McCaskey's got to go. It's got to start at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Because to be honest, McCaskey does not care. She has shown that over and over again, year after year after year. Virginia McCaskey does not care about if the Bears ever win anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because to her, it's just a trinket.
And that's all it will ever be. That's all it will ever be. One more break, and then I have an experience for you. Back after this.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, No, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby!
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
I had people cracking up when I told them that was my wife that did that voice. Down the stretch we come, and I'll say this again to the Buffalo Bills and to the Chicago Bears, given their situations.
You blew it. Capiche?
I don't know what made me think of that. Vic joins me from Chicago. And speaking of Chicago, there's something I haven't done in a while. And where is it? Where is it? Oh, here it is.
This moment of bronze sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronze sexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YO-KANG. Real LJPN, now approve all this.
That's not it. Push the other button. That's not it either. Damn it. Get it right.
And now.
No.
It's not Friday.
Not that one. The other one. You fool! Give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this camera. Yes, LeBron, it is you. It's always been you. It always will be you. Forever and ever. Amen. Dag nabbit, get it right.
Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson is brought to you by Penis Water for the ebbs and flows of life. Trust Penis 15 Water.
Not that one. Okay. Now that we got that right, I never told anybody my story of going to Raggedy Field.
Uh-oh.
I shall do that now. Now, to the many people who know me or know of me, I am a South Sider to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
But in 1998, I received an invitation from my wife at the time. Don't you want to go to Wrigley Field with me? Hell no. It's free. Hell no. There's a game there. Hell no. There's food. All right, you got me. It took a bribe with food and drink to get me in that joint. That was the only time I visited Wrigley Field to see a Cubs game, and I'll never do it again.
I was gonna say, why should you even do it for that? The food ain't worth it. The food wasn't worth it.
That night it was, because they had a ton of brats there. I drank more than I ate, but and I needed it too. I needed it too. I drank one too many beers and I had to go to the bathroom.
Uh-oh.
Thank God the suites had their own bathroom.
That's a good thing.
Because as we were departing Raggedy Field, I saw what the guys go through.
The horse troughs?
Uh-huh. A bleeping trough. There are two stadiums I've been in that had a trough in the men's room. Raggedy Field and the Metrodome. I nearly screamed out loud when I saw it at the Metrodome because it brought back memories of Raggedy Field. Was trying to be convinced on you need to come sit on the in the deck. Nope, I'm standing here. Y'all can have sitting outside amongst the wasps and the bugs and the birds and the bees and everything else that can sting you, hurt you, kill you. I'm staying in here. Best move I made all night.
Yep.
Ex-wife got mad at me and yelled at me on the way home, but I don't care. I don't care. You could have really enjoyed it with us. No.
I cannot.
No. And I repeat, no. For some reason, she loved being at Raggedy Field that night. Don't know why. 2 days after my birthday later that summer, she took me to a Sox game in which Robin Ventura walked us off against the Oakland A's.
Much better option.
Much better food, much better option. Fireworks for a home run. I'll take that. I'll take that all day. But in terms of being at Raggedy Field,
you blew it. Capiche?
No, thank you. What do I often say? I just learned 3 new words. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
You ain't gonna convince me to be in that joint again. And the only 2 times I was to see 2 CPL championships.
Right.
1998, Simeon and Clemente, and then 2007, Whitney Young and Lane Tech. Never again. I ain't going back. I don't care what they call and offer me. Should they call me? I don't care what they offer me. But you said, I know what I said. You're going to have to pay me. Big. That's the first time I went into Raggedy Field as a fan. And that was the last time I went into Raggedy Field as a fan. You couldn't talk me into going back in that joint. You just couldn't. There's no way, no chance in hell. Ain't no chance in hell you're going to convince me to go back into that joint.
Thank you, Mr. Man.
Indeed. Thank you, Mr. McMahon. Today's coordinating producer is Cheyenne Paz. Victor Locke is our engineer. The EP of all EPs is Cole Johnson. My name is Brian Snow. We hope that you enjoyed it as we enjoy bringing it to you. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We hope y'all are too. I got to get a nap because I got 2 interviews to do. So long, everybody.
Dick.
Joel Embiid, you're not an MVP. Not in my eyes. See you tomorrow.